Okay, so I've got an iPad 3 here. It's got a cracked glass. So in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to safely and properly remove the glass off of the iPad 3, and we're actually going to replace it with a brand new screen, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is actually going to be a 500 watt heat gun. You actually want to use the heat gun around the edges here to loosen up the adhesive. You want to be careful on the left side of the iPad, mostly because if you turn it over you'll see that there's a flex cable here. So there's also a cellular cable inside connecting the this is actually a cellular model, so there's an extra flex cable in there. You want to be careful when you're lifting the glass up. Another tool I use is it's one of these. I use this, and I also use metal pry tools, and you're probably going to need some safe open plastic pry tools as well too. Alright, so let's get started. You want to heat it up to approximately 180 degrees. Now be careful when you touch the iPad after heating it up, because it will be quite hot. Again, be mindful of the heat. Also, a good safety tip, make sure you have goggles or safety glasses when you're doing this, because the glass is going to be flying up everywhere. So, proper eye protection is important. Okay, so you just kind of lift it up a little bit. You want to get underneath it a bit. Pull off some of the glass here. This for the video, I'm going to be doing it in real time with no fast forwarding, to kind of give people an idea of how long this repair can actually take.
Broken glass everywhere.
So after you got the successfully get the glass off, on the actual glass, there's two components we're going to need. We're going to need to take off the home button right over here, and then there's like another bracket for the camera up here at the top. So I'll go over these later. Right now, let's just go ahead and get the new glass on there first. So first, we're going to open it up. I'm going to have to lift the LCD off of the iPad and get this cable inside there. So from here on out, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. There are 4 screws holding the entire LCD down. So we'll start with each of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That you're just going to kind of use a safe open prying tool, or I like to use a metal spudger, and just kind of lift up slowly. There you go. Okay, so once you actually get the iPad open, this cable right here, there's a flex cable. This connects the LCD to the logic board. You're gonna just slowly lift it up. Be careful when you're doing that. You don't want to break the lock. And then you're just going to slide this through. And that gets the LCD off. Okay, so after that, we've got the, this is actually part of the screen that I cut off earlier. So you're just going to go ahead and take a pry tool. You can just lift it up. It's only stuck to the iPad with adhesive, nothing too crazy. And then there's these two locks you just got to undo. Undo the adhesive all the way. And there you go. So that takes all that off. So this is technically what it should look like, without anything else, without the LCD and the screen. So this one right here, this port right here, this is supposed to be for the display, and then we've got this right here, which is going to actually be for the touch sensor and the glass. Okay, so now that we got the glass and the touch sensor off, why don't you go ahead and take the old glass, and we're going to go ahead and remove those two components on there. So you need to apply some heat to it. Just not a whole lot, maybe about 120, just to loosen up the adhesive. After you're done with that, then you just go ahead and take a metal pry tool, and you can just kind of lift it up. Just pop it up like that. There you go. That's one. Now on this one right here, there's two screws you're going to need to take out right over here. Just go ahead and take those off, and that should loosen it up. Okay, there's another one, and then you're going to take, let's heat it up a bit more. Lift it up. Okay. And then you can just pull off these. Okay. Okay. Pop that in. And there we go. Oh, there we go, finally. Okay. And those are the components that you're going to need. Okay, so after removing the pieces off of the old glass, you're going to go ahead and take the new glass. We're going to put the home button right there. Make sure it's centered. Take the second piece here. This drops right on top. So there we go. Okay, and then we've got the top part right here for the camera. Make sure that goes right on there. Okay, great. Don't forget those 2 screws for the home button. Okay. And we are ready to go. Okay. So the first thing is you want to attach this first, because the cable actually goes underneath the cable for the LCD. So start with the glass first, and you can get something that's gonna kind of help to angle it here, or so that you don't pull the cables. But we're gonna put this one in first. Just remove that first. Okay, and then just stick that on there, and then lock it down. After that, we're going to take the LCD and we're going to put that cable in here like that. So get the cable in. Once you get it in, lock it down. And then you want to push the cable underneath the lip of the iPad, or the edge. Make sure it's flat. Then just drop this on top like that. Okay. Take your screws. There's 4 screws that hold the LCD in place. So go ahead and screw those 4 down. Okay, so those are all 4 screwed down. Now, you're going to want to remove all the fingerprints off the LCD. Naturally, I've been touching it the whole time, so I've got fingerprints all over it. I personally like to use a 99% isopropyl and a cotton ball. Just kind of clean it out. You also want to make sure that there's no dust or any particles inside there, because once you tighten the glass down or put the adhesive on it, you're not going to be able to get any of that out again. So make sure you've got all those out. Also make sure before you you actually put the glass on, the outer bezel around here, you want to make sure this is all free and clear of any glass or just anything that can make it so it doesn't lay flat. Just make sure you have that all cleaned up. Looks pretty good. Okay, so on the inside of the glass here, on the inside over here, you will find that there is there's a clear sheet of plastic that they use to keep you from getting fingerprints on the inside of the glass. But first what we're going to do is let's remove all the adhesive around the edges here. We're going to take this out. Taking off the adhesive from the center right here should be the last thing that we do before we put this on. You want to make sure that there's no chance that dust and any other particles can get onto there. Okay, we are almost there. A few more and then we're there. Okay, so all adhesive is out. Now that the adhesive is done, double check one last time. Make sure there are no dust particles on the LCD. Free of all fingerprints. Alright. So then go ahead and take off that inner plastic. Now once it's off, go ahead and slide it down. sure to apply pressure on all edges, as this is going to help the adhesive stick on. Okay. And there you go. Looks practically brand new here. And there you go. That's how you fix your iPad. Well, thanks for watching, and feel free to comment or subscribe to my channel. Thank you.